It's supposed to feel.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the NS9 Postgame Show. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we got our co-host, Doug. Before I start, just want to tell everyone, happy Mother's Day.
And happy
Also,
Mitch Keller's Day as well.
Happy Mitch Keller's Day. Absolutely.
Sorry if I stole it, if I stepped on you there.
No, you're good. Perfect. Because even though it was technically Mother's Day, I think Mitch Keller stole everyone's day.
Yeah, he definitely stole the show. Man, what a just I wanted to come on and talk about Hedges, really being on base 3 times, but I'm sorry, Mitch Keller has overwhelmed that. I mean, what a just stellar performance.
Right.
Golly, his whip is now 1.02. I mean, even last year when he was pitching great, the whip was like 1.3 or something. I mean, it's just amazing.
I think.
Yeah, amazing what he has done. I remember I got into a Twitter argument with someone about him, and I said, it took Roy Halladay some time. And he's like, oh, yeah, he's going to be Roy Halladay. I said, well, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying not everybody, comes out like Justin Verlander and Jacob deGrom and wins Rookie of the Year and goes, just consistently. It takes some guys some time, but he has figured some stuff out. I mean, my goodness, this does not look at all fluky. I saw that they posted the lineups, and I'm like, oh, Keller's gonna dominate this lineup. They didn't play Rushman. I don't think it would have mattered had they, but I mean, I was never worried. Which, given our circumstances, where I'm in a perpetual state of worry, I'm like, no, Keller's got this. And then he got the runs early. First inning runs. My goodness. I mean, we had base path activity today. Not everything was perfect. Not everything was exactly what we wanted, but Mitch Keller is enough to, what I said to you right before we started, he should be pitching this Friday. We have 2 days off. I don't want to wait for him till Sunday. Let him pitch Friday. We've got some winning to make up. So let's pitch him as often as we can.
The way he's pitching, absolutely, as often as possible. And like, if I'm Mitch Keller, the way I'm pitching, I want to be there as often as possible.
Oh yeah, he's got to
go back the way that he
right.
Mentally he is. Like I feel like, again, that's where he's at. Yeah, like give me the ball on Friday. There's my 5 days. Let me get out.
He's got to be chomping at the bit. Hey, look, I can do this 1970s 4-man rotation thing. Let me go after 3. I'm ready. He looks fantastic. I can't imagine he's not just dying to get back on the mound as soon as possible, and deserves to.
Dying for him.
Yeah, it's the only thing I want to watch right
already.
now.
I can't wait for Friday.
It's the only thing I want to watch right now.
You remember how last time he pitched, I was talking about Mitch Keller, and of course I was going to my little tangent about like how mentally the way he looks and this and that. And like, I feel like I keep talking about it. I was like, wait, do I go on every Mitch Keller start? And here we are. Apparently we go on every Mitch Keller start. It's Mitch Keller Day. So we're making a formal announcement, Doug. You and I are making an announcement to everyone else on NS9 next Friday. We hope, like you said, he goes and takes the mound, and we're calling the game. We want Friday.
We got it. I will arrange my schedule accordingly. I don't care what they want from work. This is more important. This is more,
But really, like, it is must-see TV when Mitch Keller is on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Like, think about these back-to-back starts. He won a complete game shutout last time where he looked really good. And mind you, he didn't get the 9 innings, right? But, and I don't know how, but did he look even better today?
He looked more dominant, didn't he? Right? I mean, 13 strikeouts, and it's effort. It's like watching Brian Hayes play third base, smooth and effortless.
That's a good way of putting it.
Right? There's no he never looked stressed. He never looked, and I mean, in the past, he'd come up, to throw the first pitch of the game, and he looked scared to death. And now, again, against a good. Again, this wasn't their best lineup, but this is a good team. And he just came out, and it just looked like, he's playing catches with edges, just catch with edges. It just effortless and effortless. It's just amazing the transformation of this guy. And I know it's, we keep harping on the same things, but a year ago, just a year ago, we thought he's never going to make it. And would have been thrilled had you told us that he became a guy that had a 3.75 ERA, a whip of 1.3, and was a fine fourth starter. We'd have all accepted that gladly and said, well, that can help. And you tweeted it out Monday. You said you weren't ready to say he was an ace. Today, you tweeted out. Apparently, you've gotten a little closer to that. You're feeling a little better about that.
It's so to your Friday point again, right? This Friday will mark the 1-year anniversary, May 19th. I think it was 19th. Watch me be wrong. Of Mitch Keller going into the bullpen, where he first threw the 2-seam. Now I know it wasn't his first start using it. It goes back and compares like his first start and how he's done. That was the first when he went to the bullpen. That was the first time we saw him throw a 2-seam, and everyone's like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on here? That marks the 1-year anniversary. We are now basically a full year's worth of starts of seeing this new and improved Mitch Keller. And just like you said, last year, when you saw the improvements, you felt very comfortable with him. It's also now 56.2 innings this year of pure dominance, especially his back-to-back starts. So I'm going to throw some numbers out there. 56.2 innings pitched this year. 2.38 ERA. Good for 11th best in MLB. MLB, not the NL.
Right.
MLB.
Not the NS Central.
Right. MLB. Okay. He has 69 strikeouts, 14 walks, just 4 home runs, and 44 hits. Going back to your whip thing. Last year you saw the improvement. You saw how he became more of a pitcher. You saw how he induced weak contact, but guys are still getting hits. This guy's getting on base. He got the big double plays. He's not allowing anyone to get on base this year either. He is displaying I'm an ace.
Yeah. Last year he had runners all over, and he was inducing double plays at an unbelievable rate. And again, it was something that was you can only get away with that so long. You can't keep inducing. And then they changed the shift rules, and boy, of all the new rules, does that one just seem to have not even a noticeable impact compared to some of the others? It's like I haven't noticed any difference. I mean, they're not shifting obviously, but I haven't seen any real tangible impact. But yeah, he's now he doesn't put anybody on base. It's quick. It's 1, 2, 3 innings. It's maybe one guy gets on and you're not worried. You're not worried because if he has to, he'll strike him out. But he can get a double play. They're showing his pitch chart. He's not relying on any one pitch. He's throwing 2 at about 25% rate. Another at 60. I mean, it's just amazing. It's really impressive. I said last Monday he's an all-star, and I'll double down on that today. I mean, he's 5.
I don't think anyone's arguing with you right now.
Exactly.
That Twitter fight you got in. That first off, Doug, how did you get into a Twitter fight of all people? I don't understand. I do, especially Jim. How the hell did you get into it?
It was the rant man. So easy to and at the time he had all the data, and I was just saying, no, Mitch Keller can still be good because we hadn't gotten to a point where he was. So
right.
But now, I mean, he blocked me a long time ago, so I haven't heard anything. But if he's saying anything about
you,
yes,
to back up your
point. My
point,
badge. I had a badge, right?
But Jim talked about this on NS9 Live. And today you saw it as well. He uses 6 pitches, but 5 of them he uses 10% or greater. Right. Today, the same thing for the most part. The curveball was at 9%, right. But sinker heavy, cutter heavy, 4-seam heavy, also use that sweeper, the curveball, and he has that throw me in change up here and there. The guy has everything, every tool in his arsenal he has right now. Last year was developing to become a pitcher. Right. Now, like you said, when he needs to, he can induce the soft contact, the double play and such, right? But this guy is just striking out everyone right and left. Right. And what I found on the broadcast, they talked about a little bit. When they talked to Mitch Keller says he's not looking to strike guys out. Back like what you said, he's out there just playing catch. This is how good he is at this point in time.
he's not rearing back. He's not right. He's not he's just throwing his pitches.
And hitting 99 while doing that.
It just looks so easy. I mean, it looks unfair. It looks like, it looks like a major league pitcher has gone down to high A for a rehab assignment. And he's just toying with them. I mean, as a team, how do you prepare for what Mitch Keller's doing? I mean, even with some of the great pitchers, they rely on one or two pitches. You can, all right, if I sit on his fastball, I do something. You can't wait on anything from Keller. You have no idea what's coming. Like I said, can't wait till Friday. Can't wait till that next start. So Diamondbacks, look out.
Yeah. And the thing is too is, I mean, as bad as the Pirates has been, he's been the stopper both times. I mean, he's come up huge. He was needed both times in a huge way. The Pirates are 1-11, and I'm sorry, 1-10. And that one win was because of Mitch Keller. Right. And now they're 2-10 for the month of May because of Mitch Keller.
Mitch Keller, right. And had they fielded for him in the other, I mean, he was good. He was very good in that Tampa start. He just didn't get any defensive help.
Yeah, what was it, 4 unearned on him in that one?
Yeah, 5 runs, 4 unearned, right.
Right. But you're right. I mean, I can't talk. I joked last time, right? After the show, let's have an hour-long Mitch Keller after show podcast. And like, I feel it the same way again. Like, I just want to talk about Mitch Keller. I'm so happy for this dude. So excited. You making the Brian Hayes comparison, I think, is so much on point because you were right. Like, he just goes out there. He's so calm. When we talk about personalities, the one thing this team lacks a lot of is like personality. You talk about Brian Reynolds, Brian Hayes, Mitch Keller, same thing. They're all just quiet. So like, he has that personality of just calm, cool, collected, and everything's just effortless. He needs paid.
Yeah. I mean, that's
get him locked up.
I mean, I wish they'd do it soon because we're just going to get louder and louder and he's going to be, saying louder, and more. Yes, sign this guy now, please, because he looks like something special.
Right.
And, I mean, he looks like the kind of guy that's going to bring people to the ballpark on his starts. It's more than just being a nice rotation guy now. I mean, he looks like appointment viewing, and it's something we've needed for a long time. And if developing it on our own is a rare thing for any team, but in particular for what we've been doing. So, it just like I said, run him out there every 5th day, pay the kid, and reap the benefits.
Love it. I don't think we even talked about his stat line yet for the day. We've just been talking about him in general. But yeah, he, like we said, like, was it even more dominant? I think it was more dominant for sure. But yeah, 7 innings today, just 4 hits, no walks, and 13 strikeouts. And as Wireless Grape said, his fastball velocity increased, in the 6th. We talked about last week too, or not last week, but his last start in the 8th, he pumped out 98. It's consistent too. Like, he has velocity and he's holding it. I mean, again, to go back, like what I was talking about, like at this point of time, I think you have an argument of, is he an ace or not? Like, he has everything you want to see from an ace. Mitch Keller possesses. Can he maintain this? That's what we need to see and find out. But he has every single tool right now that an ace holds.
Right. I mean, again, the only thing now he needs is time, because he's doing everything that an ace does. The only thing that would hold you back from really, crown is that, all right, we need to see it for a whole season or something like that. But again, when we talked about this last Monday, who cares? I don't care what you call him the 5th starter. It doesn't matter to me. He is producing. You can call him an ace, you call him a queen. I don't care. He is producing in a dominant fashion. It's fun to watch. He's entertaining, and again, and he's doing it without any kind of theatrics. He's not, you're not getting a fist pump or again, he just looks like he's out there warming up, and he's blowing away his guys at 98, and he's getting stronger as the game goes along. I'm glad they pulled him in the in the 7th, but. He could have gone the 8th. I have no doubt that he could have went another inning if had we been in a situation where the bullpen had a lead to protect in the past, this month. Right. But the benefit of terrible slide is that, that your high leverage guys are pretty rested.
Yep, I'm perfectly okay. It was a 4-0 lead too. So with that, he had 93 pitches. I was comfortable with Mitch Keller not going back in the game there. Whereas
Especially
the
since
start
we're bringing him back
before-
on Friday. So right.
exactly.
Right.
But yeah, like we talked about his last start, I was all for it. I was glad they put him back into the 9. Today, I'm perfectly okay that he didn't go back in. He had a very, very good start. It was 93 pitches. It's a 4-0 lead. Get your bullpen some work because they haven't had any work, and kind of looked like it with Bednar for a bit. Like it's probably a good time for him to get in there and get some work.
Yeah, he looked a little rusty.
Right. So this might be a good transition because we're now 15 minutes and 37 seconds into Mitch Keller talk. I think it defeats our record from last week of 13 minutes talking about Mitch Keller.
What else
so
is that? I mean, we can make an argument that there's other things to mention. Andrew McCutchen hits leadoff and we get a first inning run. Thank you. See you next show. Right. See you Friday. I mean, there's not much else to discuss.
Well,
honestly. Mitch Keller.
I think that's what we could talk about here. Is the transition to the bullpen. I mean, Holderman and Bednar did come in. Again, we just talked about the Pirates have 2 wins on the month of May. They haven't been getting a whole lot of action. So they looked a little bit rusty, but they did the job. Holderman came in for an inning, had 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. Then Bednar came in, had a hit, 2 strikeouts as well. Again, scoreless innings. Holderman down to a 2.81 ERA, Bednar to a 0.56. Just ridiculous. But I mean, they did the job.
Yeah,
I mean, came in, it started feeling a little.
It
little
wasn't
iffy.
clean. It wasn't clean. Yeah, you had a little twinge of nervousness, and for a second you're thinking, oh, they should have left Keller out. Just had But Holderman needed to pitch. Bednar needed to pitch. This was fine. It was all right. I mean, it's what you expect. That they're not throwing. So yeah. Get them in there. Those hitters were so befuddled at that point anyway. They probably weren't going to be able to do too much anyway.
They just wanted to go home at that point.
At this point, it's like, this is embarrassing. I got to get out of here.
Right. It's time to hit the showers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I guess we will transition to the offense here for a bit. Yeah, I mean, it was 4 runs. First off, monumental 4 runs. This is the team that's averaged 1.33 in the month of May. They scored 4 runs. I didn't think it was possible.
Right.
So, I mean, Mitch Keller, 4 runs. You think it definitely has to be a win here. So they did score 4 runs.
Yeah, and I guess what's good about it is it wasn't a 3-run homer. They sort of manufactured runs. They had traffic on the base pass. A bunch of guys contributed to it. So, because that's what I mean, our run scoring of late has been, somebody hits a home run, and that's been about the extent of it. We're not. So it was nice that, we lead off McCutchen, which was, I give Shelton credit. He pushed the right buttons today. You lead off McCutchen, he's off with a hit. Reynolds gets a hit. Santana's was a fielder's choice, but I mean, again, we had activity on the base path. Cabrian Hayes is was he batting 5th or 6th? He knocks in a run. Yep. Sawinski got on base a couple of times. Man, I tell you, he got on. I know he got on his first 3 times he got on.
Yeah,
much like Hedges, the unsung hero of today,
the real MVP.
Yeah. I mean, again, he did all those intangible things to calling that game for Keller too. So that's right. Let's not forget that. But yeah, I mean, Bay knocked in 2 runs, also gets thrown out. How does he get thrown out? Anyway, who cares? I digress. It was not a perfect offensive showing by any means, but they scored 4 times as many runs basically as they have most times this month of May. So, and sometimes, it's these old baseball cliches and adages. That's what all you need is a little bloop signal to get you out of the rut, out of the slump. So, hopefully they can take this into Tuesday. Because Tuesday, they got Tuesday and Wednesday against Detroit, and Wednesday's against Rodriguez, and he's pitching lights out too. So, maybe they can continue on, get a little roll on Tuesday, and maybe still do something on Wednesday as well. So it'd be nice
Yeah,
to
two
put
game
up.
series against the Tigers. This would be nice. I mean, to build off this lead, the Tigers, they're not terrible right now, but still the Tigers. We talked about at least the Pirates are beating teams they should beat. It'd be nice to get back on that track.
Right. Exactly. That, I mean, again, just beat the bad to mediocre teams and win a game of a series against the good teams. Just
Right.
don't go 0 for 6.
When Mitch Keller starts.
Yeah. Right. Make sure Keller's pitching it, against the good teams, because it doesn't seem like anybody can handle what he's doing. But I mean,
but like the thing about
no
the offense
errors,
today is, like you mentioned, everything there. I mean, they scored the 4 runs, but like when you looked at the lineup, it was one of those lineups where you look at it and you say, "Oh boy, Mitch Keller's better bring it today," because we know like 7 through 9 is pretty much horrendous for the most part as it is.
Right.
But I think it was Hedges, which again, let's give him the props. Like you said, he was on base 3 times. I'm not going to do the checking, but I'll bet he hasn't done that in like the last 3 years. So this might be the first time.
That's a safe bet, right?
I
I like your odds there, right?
So, when you see Hedges in there, not to lay like, okay, well, there's the black hole. Then before him, you see Palacios, and then before him, it's Bay. And then
but has anybody,
Marcano.
We've brought a ton of guys up who have done nothing. But Palacios is, he's only played a little bit, but man, he hasn't looked like a guy that can get a hit, let alone have gotten a hit, and, missed it would have been a nice catch if he caught that foul ball, but I don't know if you're fighting, right. If you're fighting for your spot, you make that catch, and he just looked, I don't know. I hate judging, his body language. He just looked like he didn't care, but if you're trying to keep yourself on the 26-man roster as long as possible, that is not the way to do it. You're a guy that was hitting 400, and you're not even. No one's made a great catch, a great play to get you out yet. You've made it pretty easy on him.
Right. No, that was definitely a catch that worried me because the offense hasn't been there, like you said. I wasn't expecting it. I mean, this guy's been a journeyman. He's in Double-A, gets up to Triple-A. Like, yeah, he's batting well. Okay, cool. Great. Not expecting much there, but that's the thing too. Like when you have an easy catch to make in the outfield, you better be making those. Right. I mean, all I'm saying is you better be thankful that was a foul ball as it was.
Yeah. Oh no, that's the kind of stuff that's been killing us. It's the routine play, not making the routine play. I'm not expecting Gold Glove caliber from our middle infield, but I would like when one gets hit straight to them to throw it to first base. Right.
At least give me like an aluminum glove.
Yeah. Right.
I'll just take some, dents and bends and stuff. But,
just spray paint.
Right. But yeah, like I said, that's, going into this, like you see the lineup and you're like, I'm not expecting much. And of course, this is the most explosive offense they pretty much had in the month of May with it. But yeah, like it seemed like everyone kind of did their job. Hedges, again, he got on base 3 times. Good for him. Kutch leading off. I like that. That's the one thing, like I do like that. You can argue Hayes. Hayes, I don't like. He's not a leadoff hitter, but he's at his best when he's been leading off. And there isn't a whole lot of depth to this lineup. And it's like, who else are you going to put there? I don't really know. So I mean, Kutch fits a mold of a leadoff hitter.
Oh, absolutely.
At this point of his career.
Absolutely.
So I don't hate that at all.
He could still run. No, I don't look. The best thing that can happen to this lineup is where like Kutch and Santana get moved down to 5 and 6. I don't, we don't have to get into the Endy and Henry Davis, but if we could just add some actual real bets, O'Neill Cruz comes back, bring up one of those guys, and get Cruz back at leadoff, and Cruz, Reynolds, Endy, whatever, and then maybe Jack Sawinski could hit well enough to be a consistent cleanup hitter, and lengthen that lineup. If you have some guys like Santana, Choi back, whatever, and McCutchen, and they're now you're going 1 through 6. It's not a bad lineup, right? Right now we're back to what we've been in the Ben Cherington era of 5 through 9 at Prey. So
basically.
My prayers don't get answered that often. So,
and one thing I just want to say, and not to like harp too much, but you did bring it up, and like with Bay, like I understand that he did have the hit. He had 2 RBIs today, but he is just finding he has that speed, but he's creating outs with it at this point in time.
Yeah, he's
past 8 games, he has 3 caught stolen. He's only stolen 1 base in that time frame. I mean, in the negative in that sense. Like,
Yeah,
he's creating
he,
outs and
right.
not
He's just out of
creating
control.
runs.
He doesn't seem to, he's got this, wonderful, physical talent, but he seems to have no idea, how to use it. Both on the base paths, fielding, hitting the whole. It doesn't seem, just seems out of control. I understand he's young, and I understand he's enthusiastic, and I understand he's gotten by pushing the envelope his whole career. That when you have that kind of speed, and certainly, excuse me, it works through the lower levels. Up here now, these guys don't make a lot of mistakes,
Right.
and so you've got to play with some control, with some focus.
Yep. I mean, he certainly looks like right now a guy who this game is very fast for him.
Right.
And I mean, you can expect that. I mean, he's young, like he's a rookie, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, it looks like this game is super fast. It has not slowed down for him at all.
No.
You talk about he's very super aggressive, out of control. I mean, he has a tool of speed, and he's just that's what he's doing. Everything's just he's running fast.
But if you're running yourself into
like,
outs, right? You're you're making outs quickly. That's not a good use of your speed. So
yeah, the good decision making isn't there. But again, he did have a hit today, 2 RBIs. I mean, it was a big part of the win, but he had another out. Defensively, he looked good today. I'll put that.
Yeah, they made the plays today. Him and
Yeah.
Marcano both, and that's. I mean, that's all I ask, right? I'm just make the routine play, and they tend to make the great play occasionally. It's the routine play that they struggle with, and that happens with a lot of the young guys.
Yep. Speaking of stolen bases, though, Pirates get back in stolen base column 2. Another one. Brian Reynolds had a stolen base today.
Yeah.
His 6th.
Is that 6? Right, 6 for him.
Yeah.
I think he had 7 all of last. It might have been only 6 all of last year. So
something like that. Yeah. So he's already on his 6th.
Right.
But I feel like overall the offense was good enough. It's what it was. As Wireless Grace put in here, I think average is probably the best way of putting it. It was an average offense today.
Right. But that's all you need.
Running some scoring position. Also,
when you have a
tremendous
ace.
Improvement.
Yeah. Well, you got to hit with a runner score position. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's double.
I think they're 111
right.
in the month of May coming into this game. So,
So
you look at offensive numbers, they pretty much 30th, like down the board.
Yeah. It's one of the strangest, positions I've ever seen. The 20-8 start to 1-10. I don't know when the Brewers, I think it was like 86, 87. They won their first 13, I believe, and I should look this up. I have access to that sort of stuff now, but I think they lost their next 13. It's like, you get off to this great start to the season. It's a record-breaking start, and then 2 weeks later you're at 500. And that's kind of what I mean. And I guess that's how you have to look at it, right? What's today? May 14th? It's May 14th. We're 3 games over 500. I know that if I come to you guys while you're doing a live chat on the NS9 Live, hey, would you take 3 games over 500 on May 14th and be thrilled with it? All 3 of you would have, right? You probably would have taken the under, right? on that.
No, you're right.
Right.
I think it's just disappointing just seeing how they've done it.
Oh yeah.
Because there's better in them, and the lineups they're putting out there. It's like they're just settling and being okay with being. They're okay saying, "Hey guys, it's May 14th and we're 3 over," instead of trying to push on the accelerator and be better.
Right. It should be May 14th.
That's just where my problem
we should be 7 or 8 over. Right.
You're okay being this.
Yeah. Yeah, it once again seems that Ben Cherington is not serious about this season. He did the bare minimum. I think he said that last night on the NS9 live show. He made some good signings, and right. But it's like, I just think you start out 20-8 in a terrible division where the Cardinals are in last place. And be honest with you, I don't have a real tangible suggestion what you should do outside of bringing up our 2 prospects. But you should be looking. You should be trying to, Josh Palacios is not the answer to that, right? Right. I mean,
right.
So, I mean, there's got to be something that I mean, you get to a point where when your players exceed your expectations, then you have to do something to show them and support them. And I know it's early. I know it's mid-May. I mean, this would be a much better conversation on July 30th. But still, I just, they got off to this great start. You see what it's capable of. Injuries has been part of the problem. And so do something. I know not a bunch of teams are shopping people now, but there's something out there. There's something out there.
Yeah, not to get too much on a tangent here.
Yeah.
I think we are 30 minutes in, but I think to your point to kind of suggest is two things. Most people aren't shopping. You're probably not going to find things externally. And I don't know if it's really worth it to invest, right? To trade away assets externally.
Right.
At this point in time.
Yeah, there's not an
easy
easy
have
solution.
Things internally that you
Other
can
than.
use.
Right.
So do what you have, like work with what you have. That's where I'm at with that point. The other thing too, is you talk about, July 30th, like these conversations are probably better suited for then. And you're right, but actions today lead to what those talks will be. Like if you are okay with just being this and you're doing the status quo and you have Palacios in here for 3 weeks or whatever, and now we're having this talk on June 14th and the Pirates are now 5 under, like could they have hovered and then assets started, resources started coming, and then you're getting back to the winning ways, and now you're having that talk on July 30th, right? So like actions today lead to what those talks might be then. Again, it's so early. There was no real big expectations for this team, but again, like it is May 14th, and you are a team that's winning,
right,
and battling for first place in a very weak decision. So maybe do something. I just want to put out here too, because you mentioned this. Shout out to Bob Pompiani. He's the one that tweeted this today as well. But the Pirates are the first team in MLB history to score 80-plus runs over a 12-game span in season, but then score fewer than 21s over their next 12. So the historic Pirates, baby.
Yes. Yeah, we'll be looking that one up. Man. Yeah, it's been something. It's been a crazy little, roller coaster, and we are certainly on the downhill portion of it now. Hopefully, this Keller performance has this, or I guess, going up, ascending again. It was a tough stretch of games. We're now 1-8 versus the American League East. Now maybe, Detroit, like I said, Detroit's playing fine. Arizona's surprising people, but these are, winnable games. We have a team that can do it. We just have to play similar to how we played today, right? 4+ runs would be a good thing. Let's start scoring again. Let's things will sort out a little. We can get some of it back.
The wise words of Doug.
Who's got to go. We got to wrap this up.
Let's do it. So let's get out of here. But yeah, appreciate everyone for watching, and we will see you guys, I guess not tomorrow, but on Tuesday.
All right. Thanks, guys.
So bye-bye.
Go hug your mothers.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.